Hey everybody, I want to thank you for the extraordinary kindness, generosity, and appreciation that I've received from so many of you since I made my announcement the other day, 3 days ago, about suspending the campaign. I'm sorry we had to do that, but I'm just as committed as I ever was to the issues that this campaign stood for. These issues still exist, and this is what I'm endorsing right now. What I'm endorsing is a national conversation and ultimately public policy that addresses these things. These 6 pillars of moral repair. The idea that there are so many millions of underserved and at risk and truly chronically traumatized children in this country. Children who must be rescued no differently than if they were the victims of a natural disaster. The issue of waging peace, the fact that it's not enough to just endlessly prepare for war. We must proactively wage peace. The issue of integrative medicine, the fact that we need to do more than just treat sickness. We need to incentivize health and create more healthy opportunities in this country. We need to include integrative health as part of our health insurance options as well as our health treatment options. We need to deal with a deeper level of reconciliation between the races, not only between white America and black America, but also in regards to Native Americans. We must make reparative measures. We must have a World War II level mass mobilization in order to reverse climate change. And we must have an economy that truly does have a conscience. Economics should be practiced with a conscience. Public policy should have a conscience. All of these issues have to do with transformational possibilities in this country that are every bit as important to me now as they were while I was running, as they were before I ran. And of course, that's why I ran. So many of you have said, well, what do we do now? What do we do now? And what we do is we continue. We continue to make this a movement, a Repair America movement, as it were. The idea of the moral repair of this country, which I think calls out to people on the right as well as on the left. So I hope that you're on my mailing list. You can still be on my mailing list at marianne2020.com. I will leave that up. I hope that people will continue to look at our issues pages because what I'm doing is throwing the baton to you, particularly those of you in the early primary states, but hey, everybody, ultimately, when you're talking to candidates, you know, power flows both ways. Power flows top down, where leaders and candidates bring forth issues, but also it flows from the bottom up, and that's what's supposed to happen in America. You yourself confront candidates, ask them, what are you going to do about the traumatized, underserved children in this country? We need to stop the practice of basing our educational funding on property taxes. Every school in America should be a palace of learning and culture and the arts. You bring it now. Bring it forward in your city councils. Bring it forward with your state leadership. Bring it forward with the candidates and with your national leadership as well. How are we going to wage peace? We need a Department of Peace. All of these issues, it's in your hands now. I'm passing the baton to you. In the meantime, I will continue to stand on these issues in every way I possibly can. Look, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to continue as a candidate. I certainly would have liked to, and I would have if I'd had the machinery and the money to do so. But I didn't. But something interesting was said to me by a supporter in New Hampshire. I said, you know, we had the flowers, but I didn't create the vase. And she said, that's okay. Going forward, we're going to have a garden. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to have a conference in Washington, D.C., the Repair America Conference, and I'm hoping that it's going to be on the weekend of March 21st, but not sure. Right around in there. Make sure you're on my mailing list, and I will let you know. Let's convene from all over this country, and let's talk about how these changes happen, what they would mean in actual legislative changes and policy, what we have to do for the children, what we have to do to wage peace, what we have to do to reconcile with the races, what we have to do to change healthcare policy, what we have to do to change our economic system, in order for capitalism to have a conscience and for capitalism without a conscience to no longer have the undue influence on our government that it has had. It has corrupted our government. It has hijacked our value system. These things are as true now as they were true before I ended my campaign. My campaign was form. These ideas are content, and that is what matters. We still need, as much as we ever did, to create a politics of conscience, what Martin Luther King called a coalition of conscience. So I'm in if you're in. Please join me. Remember, Washington, D.C. We'll have it on live stream also, but get there if you can. I'll let you know the exact date. We'll do that as soon as possible. Let us convene with people from all over the country who will stand with open hearts to actually not only be the change. You know, we all know the Gandhi line, be the change. Now, we get that part about be the change. Now, let's do the change. Much love to you. Thank you for everything. Talk to you soon.